Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the official trailer that came out for the Madam Web movie. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But obviously going into this, the biggest question I think everyone had is what was going to be the story of this movie. And obviously I'd heard the rumors a while back that was kind of saying that this was going to be a time travel movie, which it turns out it is. But I was not expecting the precog element of it, because I went into this thinking, at least based on the rumors, that the story was going to specifically revolve around Peter Parker specifically, but it seems like a lot of those elements seem to be going to these other Spider-Women. And I say that specifically because I know, like, I think Sydney Sweeney's character, Julia Carpenter, is one of the Spider-Women, just like Jessica Drew's a different Spider-Woman. I think that. But I think one of the other girls are is Silk. These are characters I've heard the names, I'm not familiar with, so, but they are spider people. So it's, but like I said, I thought the entire concept was around Peter Parker, but it seems like we're spreading this to other Spider-Women. Now I don't know whether that's a thing of like this guy's come from the future. I think the character's name's Ezekiel, like Dakota Johnson's character, like I don't know what her name is, but she's Madam Web. She's one of two Madam Webs. I don't, because the Madam Web I think of as the older version, the one I got familiar with the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the one that kind of sees the multiverse and everything, kind of watches everything over everything. I don't think this is that same character, because I believe there is a younger person who's taken up the mantle of Madam Web, but it's a completely different character from the older woman that most people associate with Madam Web. But I wasn't expecting the precog element to this, so it's a little bit of like, not in a murder sense, but it kind of gives me Final Destination like vibes in that capacity. Granted, that's like one precog thing that sets off everything. It's more like the movie Next, if you've seen it, meets Krypton's concept. You know, that the whole story behind that was like, oh, someone went back in time to try and kill Superman before he was even born. That's the whole thing. So I went into this knowing, like, because of the time travel stuff, I remember when that rumor came around, I was like, oh, so it's a little like Krypton. So it seems like they've kind of taken a little bit of that. But the guy's in a spider suit, but it doesn't seem like he has any spider, but like he does seem like he has superhuman strength. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have the web slinging, but to be fair, that varies from person to person, because a lot of that is just like, you know, Peter made the web cartridges, you know, so it's like it's tech based, you know, so because I don't think Miguel 2099, I don't think he has any webs, does he? I know his claws, to be fair, I haven't seen, he might use webs, I don't know. Because I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, and I've only seen Miguel a little here and there. I've mainly seen him, you know, gliding, but I've never really seen, and I know he can use his claws to climb, but I don't, and because, in conjunction with his, like, wall crawling. Does he have wall crawling? Because I know, like, because Miles and Peter have a lot of the same abilities, with the exceptions of, like, Miles' invisibility and electricity, but Miguel doesn't have all the same abilities. He actually has less powers than some of the than Miles and Peter. But either way, like, because that's where I also don't know where the other, like, where the Spider-Women stand, where their abilities are. Because we do see one spider person that kind of has like the Iron Spider thing going on. So circling back to Ezekiel, I don't remember this character's name. I want to say it's like in DC it's like the Black Flash or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember this thing's name. It's essentially like their speedster equivalency of death or something like that. I'm basing this 100% on a TV show, because I know it's a thing in a comic, but I don't really know how it works in a comic versus like, does it work the way it did in the TV show? But that's what I thought he was supposed to be. I was like, is he supposed to? Because it seems like he grabs people and like kills them. Like his name is something, I don't know if it's like Ezekiel Sin or just something Sin is what Dakota Johnson's character calls him. And I'm like, does he kill you with your sins? Because that's what I was like, are these Spider Women evil? These spider people, like I said, because I know one's a Spider Woman and one's Silk, and I don't know what the other one is, but I'm like, are they evil in the future, or is he just someone that came back from the future to kill them because they get in his way? And kind of a little bit of an Eobard Thawne versus Barry Allen type of situation. Is he kind of there, Eobard Thawne, or is he kind of like, I'm the good guy, they're the bad guys? Because the whole concept behind it is like, right, your future could have gone down so many different ways. So that's why I'm like, does that mean that they become bad guys, or what? Like, how far in the future did it before they become superheroes? Like, there's so many questions, obviously, but it's like, I really like the concept behind this. It seems really interesting. Like I said, the time travel element, I'm always down for that. But also, like I said, this precognition thing where it's like I said, I used the example of like Final Destination at first, but I was like, no, it's more like that Nicolas Cage movie Next, because he could like see, what, 2 minutes into the future or something like that. Whereas like Final Destination, it's one precog Vision at the beginning and then that's it, typically. Well, no, because you get one at the beginning and you typically get one like at the very end of the movie in some of the movies. That's a whole thing. But yeah, it's more like she can see into the future more and more, and I'm sure it's going to be about controlling that. Like, I don't think she has any like superpowers beyond that. I don't think she's like superhumanly strong or whatever. Like, I think that's like her main ability. It might actually be her only ability, at least what we got showcased in the trailer. But maybe she'll be able to like unlock more as it progresses, because we see that each of the individual, like I said, each of these spider people have their own thing, because one of them was kind of doing like an energy thing. I think that was Julia Carpenter's Sydney Sweeney's character, but it might have been one of the others. Because I said one has like the mechanical like iron spider legs, because I think it is that conversation about like destiny and how much, you know, things are set in stone and just how different choices can affect how your life will turn out. Just like, the concept of the movie seems really interesting. Like I brought up at the beginning, just no one really knew what this movie was really going to be, and I'm really behind this concept. It's interesting too because for whatever reason in my head, I knew Adam Scott was going to be in this, but for whatever reason in my head was thinking like, because going back to the original concept of this was kind of like, oh, let's erase Peter Parker before he becomes Spider-Man type of situation. I thought Adam Scott was playing Peter's dad. Spoilers, I guess. He's playing Uncle Ben. Because I knew Peter's parents were going to play some role in this, but it's because his sister Mary, Peter's mom, is in this, because obviously Peter's parents come into play in some capacities in some storylines. At least, like I know, like the Amazing Spider-Man movies kind of touched on his parents like having secrets and there being things about them. But it's kind of like the Waynes. They don't always get fleshed out in some Batman canons. Other stuff has like utilized them more. Like more recent years, a lot of stuff has kind of leaned more towards that. Yeah, the Waynes suck. Thomas and Martha weren't good people in some capacity, specifically Thomas. So I'm curious to see how they handle with this. I mean, at least I know Peter's mom is in this. I don't know if his dad's in this or not, or if his dad's going to be someone significant, or maybe he isn't. I just wasn't paying attention. But it's also interesting that Ben's a paramedic too, and that he actually connects with Madam Web. Maybe that's kind of like the destiny of it all. Like maybe it isn't just the spider people. Maybe Mary falls into that category too, because she being Peter's mom. Like maybe he's gunning for her as well, but it's not just the spider women, it's him as well. Like maybe Peter jump starts a whole bunch of spider people stuff in this universe, and maybe that's why it's kind of like you have to kind of go for the jugular in that regard. It's also interesting, I mean, I wonder, are those characters typically older than Peter? Because I mean, not unless he's a kid in this situation, but I'd assume he's not born yet, but I could be mistaken. Obviously, I don't want answers to all of this because it's just a trailer meant to like give you the premise of the movie. I don't want to know everything. These are just rhetorical questions of me theorizing like, oh, what could this be and what it can mean. But obviously, these are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to get to know yours in the comments down below. What did you think about the trailer? Did it change your, were you excited about a movie? Were you not excited? Did this change your mind? Are you feeling the same way? What are some things you want from the movie? What are some things you expect from the movie? Just let me know all your thoughts. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.